What's going on, my boxing brothers and sisters? Another legendary Friday night. We have a legend indeed in the house today, with the name that most people call the Blade. The Blade fought pretty much everybody top to bottom. You know what I mean? And I'm definitely interested in hearing this gentleman's story. He's got a lot to say, so we're looking forward to hearing what transpired during his heyday and all of the things that came with his reputation, and why they call him the Blade. And if y'all don't know how deep his resume is, man, y'all gonna be shocked to hear what's going on with this one. So yeah, man, we're just waiting on him to come back in the building. But yes, we have Iran the Blade Barkley, and he's going to tell us a couple things about things you probably knew about, things you probably didn't know about. And of course, the co-host, my man Troy Grizzy. What's going on, Troy?
Bless up. Okay, there we go. There we go. We had a little issue. We here. We here. We got a guest tonight. I don't know if you
That's
said
what's
his
up.
name yet. Yeah.
Yeah, I did. You when you fell back
Okay.
into the background, but yeah, man. Like I said, man, I introduced him. You know what I'm saying? Boxing legend. We're gonna hear some great stuff today. So we have Iran the Blade Barkley up in the building. Legend indeed, man. His resume is deep. I'm definitely looking forward to what this gentleman has to say. As I said before. So without further ado, yeah, go ahead, man. Introduce yourself.
Well, I ran the Blade Barkley, 5-time world champion, the only man to beat Thomas Hearns twice, and the rest is history.
That's facts. That's facts. So I like to start off all the interviews by asking people, first and foremost, what got you into boxing? What motivated you to stay in boxing? Things of that nature. Like like just the beginning, the story of before I ran the Blade Barkley got into boxing, how he got into it, and then what kept you in boxing.
Gang member.
Oh, I do apologize. I do apologize, Troy. Wherever you were at before, try to stay in that location because wherever you move to is breaking up. So if you could start from the top again, my bad.
Okay, go ahead, Iran, and see if you're still clear. Go ahead.
Okay. Um, yeah. You know, I was a former member with a gang called the Black Spades back in the day, back in the '70s and stuff. And I came with them and everything. And my sister and my cousin and them, they was going to boxing and stuff. And she snatched me out of the gang and told me, "Nah, you gonna come to this gym and start training." Because I never liked to fight, but she brought me to the gym, and I went to the gym with my cousins and her, and she took up boxing to keep me in the gym. She already knew how to fight, but she just came, from hanging out with my oldest brothers. So to keep me in the gym, I said, "Hey, I know what she can do, so I'm gonna stay right here to plant myself."
Gotcha. Gotcha. So it was basically to get you out of gang influence and stuff like that, and that's a great thing because a lot of times that a lot of the legends that we spoke to, they just like to fight in the streets, and they said, you know what, might as well get paid off of it, right?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So tell me about the like that the neighborhood that you grew up in, and what kept you again, like kept you in the sport of boxing. So it was your cousin that got you into it, but what kept you in there? Like after you made a little bit of money, did you get used to the money, or what really was that kept Iran Barkley in boxing?
I mean, it was a blessing from my sister and God that it helped me recognize that this is where I belong instead of just running these streets doing nonsense. Do something positive, you know. So
Right.
I stayed in the gym. I got the fight. I started to learn how to fight, and it just took me places where I could just settle myself. They didn't, I went to when I went to Hawaii. I went to the
Right.
amateur fight in Hawaii, and that was good. And
Got-
started traveling and stuff and seeing parts of the world. So I see different things. I said, hey, there is something better than where I'm from.
Gotcha. So yeah, that's definitely something that would motivate somebody. I could definitely say. So go ahead, Troy, man. Follow up, man.
All right, all right. I ran. Before I get into the serious talk with you, I want to ask you about a dude you fought from out of Canada, and he was known for well, his face. They said he looked uh, Michael Jackson, right? And he had Jerry curls. You know who I'm talking about, right? Michael Olajide.
Michael Elijah.
Yeah. I think you said after the fight, after you stopped him, because you knocked him out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think in the post fight you said something about I didn't come all this way to get beat by nobody with Jerry curls or something like that. Yeah.
I mean, we was gonna fight in we fought in New York.
Okay.
But, and I was like saying, I said I don't think I came all this way to let a guy with jerry curls and stuff in his hair beat me. So that's not gonna happen.
Yeah. Okay, you definitely knocked him out because I remember watching that on TV. That was on TV. That was funny as hell to me. But yeah. But look, man, tell me about that journey to Thomas because I was in Alfred E. Smith when that happened. I was a junior, right there in the South Bronx, close to where you were.
Right.
And that's the first time I heard your name, to be honest with you. I said, dag, man, Tommy Hearn's going to knock out someone from the Bronx. I was kind of torn because, I was a fan of Tommy because he's a legend. But, you was from the Bronx. I want to root for you, right?
Right.
And of course, the next morning, man, they said, yeah, man. Iran knocked out Tommy. I said, Iran who? Iran Barkley from the Bronx.
It's all the dream.
That's right. That's right. But tell that story, man, because I heard so many conflicting stories about he broke your nose, he broke this, he broke that on. What exactly happened in that fight?
Well, I mean, Tom, he's coming with his stuff, but I didn't have no broken bones. I broke his bones.
Woo.
And I knew Tommy manager for a while. God bless him. Emmanuel Stu.
Yeah.
So, me and the man, we used to say, he said, man, Tommy's gonna get you now. I said, look, Emmanuel, I said, you don't know what I can do, and I know what I can do. I said, Tommy's good. I said, but he ain't coming through this. I said, I'm gonna show him something that he never seen before.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, I'm gonna show him how to get a sure enough Bronx whooping.
Yeah, because you caught him with what? Was it a sweeping left hook that knocked him out, or what?
No, I caught him with a uppercut right hand and an overhand right.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you were 6'1", 6'2", right?
Right.
Mm-hmm. And you one of the few guys that were his size in that weight class, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Both of y'all were big. Both
Yep.
of y'all were big for 160, but I seen him drop that left hook to the body. I don't know how many times on you, man. How did you take that, man? Because that hook is no joke, if I understand it.
Well, Tommy had a good left hook to the body and everything, but I trained for that.
Mm-hmm.
I had 2-3 guys that was like Tommy's size and everything, and they was good fighters, and they kept letting them plant it down there, and up to the body to the head, and that's that was the format. So I started planning myself to throw an overhand right. I mean, a uppercut and an overhand right, and I said that'll slowly stop
It worked. Damn
him.
sure it worked. All right, man. The last question before I pass it back to the brother. You went from fighting Hearns to fighting Hands, right?
Yeah.
And I saw that from you.
You're breaking up again, Troy. You're breaking up.
Okay, can you hear me now? Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Okay, yeah. I ran.
Shout out to
hit him.
Appreciate that half a dub, brother. Yeah.
I ran. Yeah. You hit. Hands of Stone with this monster right hand, and it twisted his head, and he came right back. What were you thinking after that? After you hit him with your best right hand, and he didn't go down. Yeah.
Yeah, we get some bad feedback here. Can't hear what he's saying, man.
Okay. How about now, Glenn? Can you hear him?
Yeah, like whatever section you're in right now. Like I don't know if you're moving it or whatever, but because it sounds clear whenever you say, "Can you hear me now?" But prior to that, it starts breaking up again. So
that's the phone because I'm not on the phone.
Okay.
Go ahead, Iran. Let me see if we can hear you. Go ahead.
Yeah, I can't. Can you hear him? Because I can't hear him.
Oh, man. Okay. Hold on a second. Let me find some place clear. Get a clear signal.
No doubt. No doubt. Welcome, Bruce. How you doing?
Salute, Major. How you doing? How you doing, Troy? I ran Blade Barkley. Pleasure, bro.
Yeah, man. We're trying to get him back in, and then once we get him back in, to answer Troy's question, then I'll let you jump in next.
Right, let me turn the volume up all the way.
Hey, you got a legend up here, man.
All right, Iran. Go ahead and say something. Go ahead and say something, Iran.
Yeah, testing 1, 2, 3. You hear me?
Yep.
Can you hear him?
Yep.
Okay, go ahead, Iran. Go ahead.
So, which one do you want me to start with? What I was saying?
You know what, man? I'm gonna pass you back to brother Glenn now, man, because I know he got some more questions for you. He can start it over. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's all good. Let it go to Bruce Goes because we're gonna jump into some more questions about his fights. But Bruce just hopped on the scene, so Bruce knows his boxing. So what up, Bruce, man? Go ahead and shoot your questions off.
I just I had no idea you were gonna have a celebrity on your show tonight, Major Key, and I just got off a panel with my brother Duke, fourth quarter talk. We did a nutrition panel. I had Coach Malachi was on there with us, and man, I come on here and this is great, man. You got a legend on here, and I feel humbled that you asked me to come up on the panel. And I really had nothing put together. I didn't know the champ was going to be in here, but I'll tell you, my wife found a bunch of ring magazines a few months back. I'm talking like a couple of hundred of them from the 90s and the 80s, and I ran you graced many of the covers on there, and one of the fights I remember you had in there, Darren Schoolboy Van Horn, the $1 Million Baby. And you came in and you took that IBF super middleweight title, I believe. Can you speak anything on that fight, brother?
Yeah, his father caused him to get beat up bad. So, his father was coming in the hometown and he was like, "Hey, we're gonna do this to this black this and black that." I was like, watch your mouth, man. He was like, "Why? What you gonna do to me?" I said, "Everything you say to me, I'm gonna beat up your son. I'm gonna beat your son up for everything you say to me. Whatever you say to me, your son is gonna feel it all."
Yeah, he did, because I saw that fight too.
Oh, massacre.
Yeah. All right, Bruce, you got any more questions?
Man, we're talking to somebody here who could take over the mic and tell us hours and hours of stories. I mean, this is a guy I saw that he was brought in as an opponent for most fighters. He fought his way up from the dirt, man. I'd love to hear some of the upsets that you had in your career, Blade.
Well, I mean, especially with Tommy, Bob Arum, both of our promoters, and Sugar Ray Leonard and all of it. So they put me on me. So
we're getting a lot of feedback.
I don't know. Okay, go ahead, Aaron. Let me see if they hear you better.
So he said, so I said to myself, well, whatever he did to everybody else, he ain't gonna do to me. I said, I gotta. This is the one I waited all my life for, and I dreamed about this. I said, so I'm gonna get this fight, take him out. But I knew what I had to do, and sure enough, it all came through. I stayed on the track and bust him right out, so he landed straight on his back.
So, quick question.
Yeah,
we could pass it back around. Don't worry about it. But as far as okay, so you won the bronze in the '82 Olympics, right? You had like an outstanding resume, man. Like as a matter of fact, look, if you could, well, you're on the phone, but on the screen, William Hillen says Barkley was one of the best, and he fought the best, not like them now. So tell us about the some of the sparring, stories that you could tell us, or like, who you fought that was the toughest in your eyes, who had the hardest punch, things of that nature, just to kind of give people a glimpse into what you were dealing with during that time.
Well, I had another great champion that me and him was stablemates and everything, which was my man, sensational Davey Moore, and he passed away, in an accident, car accident and stuff, and that took a lot out of me, but that's the one that I ventured on for Tommy Hearns, you know what I'm saying? So, but it was all good.
So he prepared you for Tommy, all right. And who would you say, man? Because you fought a bunch of hard hitters, man. You fought the James Toney, the Duran, the Tommy Hearns, the list goes on. To be honest with you, man.
Nigel Benn.
Nigel Benn, exactly. Nigel Benn. Let's not forget about him. Like so, with dealing with them, who would you say was the toughest opponent, not necessarily the hardest puncher, and then also who was the hardest puncher? Because it doesn't necessarily mean that they the toughest opponent because they're the hardest puncher, and vice versa, right?
Yeah. Well, Duran was the most slickest out of all of them. That's the one you had to be careful of.
Really? Wow. Okay.
Yeah. He could punch. He could punch you. But I took a good punch and everything. But I know things that I did with him. Most of them guys would have been gone, finished. You know what I'm saying? And Duran was like a spirit, a live spirit that was like a voodoo man. I
Damn.
Hey, Champ, was it true that Davey Moore stepped in for Tony Ayala when he fought Roberto Duran?
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. That's a little history right there. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So I always invite Bruce on, man. He be learning these little things.
No, that was a great night. That was a great night at the Garden for Roberto Duran. His 32nd birthday. I mean, the Madison Square Garden was on their feet singing "Happy Birthday" to the legend.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, but I want to ask Iran about that fight with Nigel Benn because it just seemed kind of strange to me because it ended so quickly. I don't know if they stopped it too fast or what happened. But go ahead and break down that fight because I remember it, but it just seemed like a strange fight.
Well, not even he rubbed me the wrong way. So I really want to get him quick. And what happened in that fight was that when he hit me, he threw to me, it hit me, but it hit me on my shoulder and made me go back. And when I went back for him, I fell. The referee.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I said, this is gonna be crazy. I got back up. And I felt I won the fight back. I won the points back. But they just didn't give it to me that day, and everything happened bad that day because I don't make noise, but I was feeling kind of funny and irritated. You know what I'm saying? But when I got out of the ring, after I got out of the ring, that's I was feeling that way because they told me after I finished fighting, my father passed away that day.
Ooh. Yeah.
Right after the fight, so I said, "No wonder I was."
Yeah.
Well, that's crazy.
No excuse. I said, I felt they robbed me, but I just dealt with it.
Got you. Now, a few months back, maybe 2 months ago or something like that, or maybe last month actually, we had two other guys on that was in your weight class. We had Julian Jackson and and Mike McCollum, man. How come you never faced both of them?
Let me tell you something. Those was two good fighters. You know what I'm saying? I sparred with Mike McCollum in my gym because we came from the same gym.
Okay.
And what's his name? Julian Jackson. I popped it one day with my brother from Miami, and I knew all about Julian Jackson. He was a good fighter. I was willing to test him all. I didn't care.
Both of them, Professor Jackson.
Nah, it never came about.
Okay. Twice I would love to see you, man. Yeah.
I used to box we didn't even know we would fight each other. It was coming that close.
Okay. And I know. Tell us about your boy now. James, man.
Well, James Tony, more like a mouth. He was just a big mouth. I like when
Troy, man. It's unfortunate, but we're getting like really, really bad feedback. Like, man, it's breaking up like horribly, man. To be honest with you, man.
I don't know. I don't know because I can hear him clearly from my end.
But you see, but Bruce and myself are hearing a lot of like breaking up. You know what I mean? So now I know it's not me, and I know it's not because if we both hear it, and we're both here, then it's coming from your end.
Yeah, it's the phone really. But go ahead, Iran. Let me see if they can hear you.
You hear me?
You broke up a little bit, but go ahead and go ahead and continue, man. We'll see if we can still hear you.
All right. I forgot where I was at now.
I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry, brother, man.
You were talking about James Tony.
You just said that right there. You sound clear. You see, now you guys sound clear. I'm not sure what's going on, like here and there, but right now you sound really clear.
Not a good puncher. He wasn't a big puncher. He slipped away from me.
Did y'all hear all that?
Yeah, I heard the end of that. Yeah. So let me ask you then. Well, actually, Bruce, my apologies. You were next. So, do you have any other questions?
No, I'm getting bad feedback anyway, Major. I'm going to listen for a bit.
Okay. All right.
I really can't hear too much.
All right. No worries. All right. So yeah, man. When it came to later on, like I like the question that Troy asked. So to be honest with you, like there were certain people, right? But then again, you fought Tommy Hearns right at middleweight, and then you jumped up for the second fight a few fights later and fought him at what was it, light heavy?
Light heavy, yeah.
Light heavy. But like what was going on with that? Were you guys like both just like you both grew at the same time, or did you want to like what was the deal with that one? Because then after that you fought at super middle again, right?
Yeah. You know, what happened with that one was Tommy had 2 titles that he was holding on to. So after I beat him for the middleweight title, I didn't know he had the light heavyweight title. He had that title too. So I said, well, come on, let's get that one too.
Got you. All right. Hey, that was some guts right there, man, because he was heavier, man, and he was a big hitter. Yeah, that was some guts right there, man. So I didn't really hear your full response when it came to the Julian Jackson question, but yeah, we had him on here, man. That sounded like that would have been a great fight as well, man. With Julian Jackson or Mike McCullum.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, both of those guys I boxed with in the gym and stuff, and they were good fighters. And but like Mike McCallum, he was a good, slick boxer, but he couldn't have my power. He always used to tell me, he said, "Man, you can hit, Barkley. You can hit."
Right. And who did you go to the Olympics with? Like, who was on your team in the Olympics?
On the Olympic team, I had Pernell Whitaker,
Holyfield.
Holyfield. You know, all of these guys, all of those guys would be, we all was split up on different teams.
So how do you feel about that, man? Because that's known as pretty much like the dream team of boxing. You know, that's like the dream team of boxing, that Olympic team back then.
Yeah, back then, yeah, we had the good team.
Yeah, man. So yeah, man. Troy, any follow-up questions, man?
I ran. Tell us about the heavyweight title you won, because we don't have WBB. How did that come about?
How did that come about?
Yes, sir.
That was a title that Jericho did. Well, I said, this is a title.
And you did. Who did you knock? I mean, who'd you knock out for that fight?
Jericho.
Okay, right. He's from South. Is he from South Africa?
He's from South Africa. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, Jericho C is a huge name, former heavyweight champion, knocked out Michael Dokes. I mean, this is a top-notch fighter. This is one of the top fighters, heavyweights that came out of South Africa. Jericho C was a fantastic victory champ. And if I can ask you one question, I'm noticing in your record, man, you fought Hearns, Duran, Michael Nunn, Nigel Benn, Sambo Colombe, just in that. How did they give you a murderer's roll like that? Didn't you have an easy fight in between there, or couldn't you have had one, or did you just want to take on all these killers right back to back?
These are fights that Top Rank gave all around. He didn't feel that I was qualified to beat none of these guys or be in the ring with none of these guys. So everybody he threw in front of me, I kept beating and fighting and punching and letting them know you ain't getting me out of here until you give me what I was supposed to get. And he was the one that was holding me back from my money.
Damn.
Yeah.
What was the money like that back then? Like how do you feel about these guys right now that won't even fight each other? You know what I'm saying? Because of $500,000 when they're making millions or over millions. You know what I mean? Like what do you feel about the temperature of boxing right now?
I'm pissed, you know, because I mean this is the money that I'm supposed to be making now, and being that, you know, all of this pandemic stuff that's happening, you know, a lot of things coming back, you know, to get the thing. So, but you know, they don't got the guys like they used to have now. I'm the last of the guys that, you know, was in that circle, and I'm the last one that I feel that God telling me that I got to have that collection before I retire. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, I do feel you, man.
His last fight in the heavyweight and retire. I hope to get a big pay and jump out.
Right. Damn, man. What do you feel like about these celebrities? Now you could get a big following on YouTube and pretty much they're sparking more entertainment and interest in the sport of boxing than the actual champions, because the champions are not fighting each other. How do you feel about that?
Man, I feel whatever they got to do to make that money, they doing it. But if they throw me in one of those to get that money, they better believe I'm cracking their jaw.
So you still competitive, or are you still in the gym?
Oh, I'm still in the gym. I'm still doing what I got to do. I mean, just because it's a pandemic, I ain't stopped training. I'm just relaxing.
What weight you at right now?
Right now, I'm weighing about like 230.
Okay, so all right, so right there, borderline bridge your weight if they actually come out with that full fledged and heavyweight. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You got to talk to your boy Troy Grizzy, man. Troy Grizzy got some connects to make some fights possible.
Hey, bring it up, make it up, make it happen. I'm in there to jump.
We still trying to get Chris Bird and Randall Bailey to negotiate on that.
Yeah, that'll be something. My man Chris Bird.
That's what's up, man. So yeah, man, I know you gave us a 40-minute mark. We're about 5 minutes away from that. So Bruce, go ahead and give your final thoughts. Any last questions? And then we can pass it to
I ran. Yeah, one last question. The dream fight would have been you and Sugar Ray Leonard. Was there any negotiations for that fight, or did he just stay clear of the batter and Barkley?
I ain't stay clear of nobody. I used to get Ray every time he fought somebody, and I fought somebody on the card one time. And then when I come out of the ring, I said, Ray, now me and you can fight. He said, nah, I'm not looking for that kind of fight. You hit too hard. I said, I'm not gonna hit you hard. I'm gonna let you beat me. Just give me the fight.
Yeah, I don't think Sugar Ray Leonard wanted anything to do with you, Blade.
Nah, he didn't. But I told him I wouldn't bruise him up too bad.
Salute.
Funny because here when Julian Jackson was on and Mike said, Mike McCullum, he said, yeah, I wasn't trying to get that rematch. Hell no, you hit too hard. Go ahead, man, Bruce. My bad. I think Bruce had something else to say. My bad.
No, bro, I just appreciate coming on here. I love listening to warriors like the Blade, man. Dude, are you? What do you think of Evander Holyfield fighting tomorrow night?
I mean, Evander, I respect him. I mean, I'm glad he's doing what he's doing. I mean, so if he still got juice to do what he got to do, hey, more power to him, man. Just God bless him, man, and I just hope he do what he got to do.
No doubt. Well, salute to Bruce Goes, man. Always a pleasure to have him on the panel, man. You know what I mean? He gets the invite through email. specific VIP treatment when he comes up here because he knows his shit when it comes to boxing. So appreciate you, Bruce.
Much gratitude. Much gratitude.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Very respectful to the boxers and legends when they come on. So he's always welcome here. Go ahead, Troy. Any final words, and then Iran could tell everybody where to follow him and stuff like that, and you know.
Yeah. Well, Iran, brother, I just want to tell you, before I ask you the question, that you have a social media home here with now. So, anytime you want to promote anything that got to do with boxing, whether you're promoting, managing, or whoever you're training, come on through, man, and we'll put you back on the air, right?
Okay, brother, I appreciate that.
Okay, now, you hold on. I got a question for you, and not so much with style, but as far as the fire you had in your soul, man. I see a fighter out there that kind of reminds me of you, basically just because of his passion. But who do you see that's boxing nowadays that has that passion like you did?
Well, you know something? I haven't seen too many fighters that had that passion like me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And got that fire. You know what I'm saying? When me, it was totally different. I didn't like everything that was going on. When I came, it was fire this thing. So I came from the South Bronx. I got out of the South Bronx and I came back to the South Bronx. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I said, this is not where I want to resign. But, I come back. But, I came back for the kids. And, that's the thing about it.
Okay.
And whatever God got me to do now, I'm going to do.
Okay, yeah, because I was gonna say, Sean, Sean Porter kind of reminds me of you, not so much his style, but just his passion,
Right.
how he fights.
Right.
Yeah, he got that passion in him, man. He just comes forward. He uses everything that he has. He uses his arms, his head, anything. He just coming for you.
Yeah.
But man, thank you for your time. I know Brother Glenn got something. I just want to say thank you. Thank you, and we definitely gonna keep in touch and stay blessed, brother.
I appreciate it, brother.
All right.
You guys stay up.
First and foremost, before I end this, what part of the Bronx? What part of the South Bronx?
142nd Street, 3rd Avenue.
Oh, you was down south, right by Manhattan. Okay. Okay. My
Say what?
Morris Avenue?
Yeah, like Willis Avenue.
Yeah.
My great aunt, like my mother's aunt, my grandmother's sister, she actually had a Bible store out there, and she had her apartment on the top level. So like the bottom was a bookstore, and all the little and then on the top floor was the actual residence. She lived out. I think she still lives out there. Actually, you know what I mean. She's been living out there since the early '80s. But yeah, man, that's what's up, man. Yeah, that's South Bronx. Okay, so yeah, man. No, we appreciate you being on here, brother. Like he said, man, if you're training people, you want people to to promote their fights, you're more than welcome. We've been doing little by little, but I've been getting these different connections.
Yeah.
And things are going to be a lot more live because I'm in Orlando and there's a lot of things going on over here in Orlando. And so I'm connecting up with different people. And I'm going to start connecting with people in South Florida as well. So in the meantime, man, we could build, you know what I mean? Go ahead, my
Like when they come from there, when they come from Miami and stuff, and they want a good trainer and stuff, just tell them to call Gleason's Boxing Gym and line me up and ask for Iran Barkley, and they'll get in touch with me and I'll come down and train them.
So tell them right now that's what I want you to plug. So Gleason's Boxing and where's that gym at? And what's the phone number if you have that off the top, or what's the website?
Well, Gleason's Gym is in Brooklyn, underneath the Brooklyn Bridge. That's the new under there, the new Soho and all of that stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And it's under the Brooklyn Bridge, and that's where you can find Gleason's Gym and stuff. And I'm there in the morning, in the day, and you call Gleason's gym and we'll get contact with me.
That's what's up. That's what's up. And Troy, if you can send me those details, I'll go ahead and add it to the description of the video.
I could do that.
All right, perfect. So yeah, man. Again, we appreciate you, brother. Stay safe out there, man. We hope to have you on in the future again. You know, and of course, the folks that you training. Yep, Bruce Coles put it right there. He put it in the chat. Gleason's Gym, Brooklyn, New York. Ask for Rand Barkley. Absolutely. So yeah, man. Yeah, man. And if we could find a legend that'll step into the gym with you at heavyweight, which I highly doubt, we'll try to get you back on.
Oh, definitely. You know, anytime, brother. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm here. You know what I'm saying? And on top of that, I'm coming out with a movie, so
go ahead and plug that out. Yeah. You know.
I'm gonna plug this movie. You know, Rand Barkley. You know. So that'll be coming out soon.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Let us know. Like if you could send us like a clip and we'll put it on the channel as well. You know what I mean? Like a little trailer. You feel me?
Well, definitely. We're gonna do it, but we're gonna hit it up. Yeah.
What is that? The story of your life, or what is the movie?
It's the story of my life.
Okay.
Yeah. The story of my life. You know, with my sister and everything.
Okay.
You know, I got started and everything.
All right, man.
Okay. Salute to the brother, man. I'm gonna stay on though, Troy. If you want to hop off and come back on, if you get a little bit better reception. But yeah, well, I want to talk a little bit about the fights going on, and kind of engage my crowd here. You know what I mean? It's Friday night. I'm pretty sure they want a little bit of pre-smoke, before everything starts getting crazy tonight. You know what I mean? Salute. So yeah, the link's in the chat right there. Let's talk about these fights going on. Let's talk about these fights going on this weekend. And again, shout out to Coach Malachi. You know what I mean? My brother over there, New Media USA Boxing, and with his half a dub Cash App. Do appreciate you, brother. Appreciate the support all the time. You know what I mean? He would have jumped on, but he's out there, working with a client as well in the gym. So shout out to him. But yeah, man, the link's in the chat. In the meantime, Bruce, you on, man? What fight are you looking forward to the most tomorrow? Or this weekend, I should say this weekend.
The fights we got on tonight, we got Valdez, and all people are talking about is PEDs everywhere I go. The cheating around in boxing. Tomorrow night, man. Nothing but mad respect for Evander Holyfield, but bro, I don't think he belongs in the boxing ring at 58 years old, man. Do respect, and a brother's got a right to make a living at what he wants to do, but I believe boxing's a young man's game. 58 years old, I don't think I've ever seen a fighter in the ring at 58 years old, exhibition or not. This kid Belford, we saw what he did to Chavez Jr. Not long ago. He's the real deal. Holyfield, I pray Holyfield doesn't get hurt, man. I don't want to see that fight. And the Valdez fight, it's like cheaters. What the WBC is doing is totally blowing my mind. Their contradiction, their own rules. You take a banned substance, there should be no discussion about it. You should lose your title. You should be banned. They're talking about the gym being the access to it. They're talking about Eddie Reynoso and all his stable. Man, go hit the gym. Test them up too. Get this shit out of boxing, man. Well, it's going to turn to a freak show like professional bodybuilding or something crazy like that. And dude, I don't want to see that, Major Key, bro. I'm a purist, man, and I want to try to keep it as pure as possible.
Yeah, I think actually Black and Brown had a great point when he said that Flores Jr. Should have been put in that slot. You know what I mean? That would have been the right thing to do. And then afterwards, if he cleans himself up, redeems himself, does the time, maybe down the line after his suspension, he could fight for the belt. You know what I mean? But I'm looking forward to what's his name? Tony Yoka is I don't even know. Did they already start fighting? I have no idea. But
Yeah,
Tony Yoka.
I think those fights are over. They happen this afternoon.
Man, you see, I was at work, man, and then I have to go pick up my kids, man. So I'm gonna have to. That was on ESPN Plus, right?
I didn't catch him. I was working myself, and then I came in. I was doing something else, but I tried to find the Yoka fight, and what was the other one too?
There's Junto Nakatani that's coming over. Like
no, the other heavyweight who fought tonight.
The other,
the guy from Croatia, the big guy, the Klitschko clone, man. What the hell's his name? It's at the tip of my tongue. I can't remember it. Help me, Major.
I'm trying, bro. I'm trying.
Everybody. He was supposed to be fighting for the IBF mandatory against Michael Hunter. Oh man.
IBF mandatory. Man, because as far as heavyweight, I think the Hrgovic. Let me see.
Hrgovic fought today.
Oh, my bad. I thought I said that one already. My bad. Yeah, Hrgovic too. Yeah, Hrgovic. Hrgovic is yeah. Oh, and look, I should have just looked at the chat. Lance Meyer already dropped it there, and William Hillen. Yeah. My bad.
Those fights happened. They went according to plan. They should have fought each other, but it's like boxing is in the dumps right now. This
but they're all undefeated though. And let me tell you that I don't know that other dude. I'm gonna be honest with you, Radonjic or whatever. But the dude is like 22-0 with 22 knockouts, bro.
Records can be manufactured.
Yeah,
I never heard of the guy.
I know what you mean, but still 22 knockouts and 22 knockouts. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like the whole thing about Deontay Wilder. It's like, they were putting him against lesser opposition, but he still knocked all of them out. You know what I mean? So,
well, don't get me wrong. I'm going to watch them. I would much rather see two fighters I've heard of before, have seen before. It's going to happen eventually. The heavyweight division should be busted wide open within the next couple of months.
Yeah.
So we'll see what I'm so looking forward to that Deontay Wilder Tyson Fury 3 card, man. The undercard it seems like it's getting well, dude. I can't see any bigger event that's happening with in the foreseeable future or that's happened in the past. Even if you throw the main event out of there, look at the undercard.
Yeah, that's the whole thing I was trying to say. My bad, Troy, but I just want to land this plane. That's what I was trying to say. Like, so even if Valdez's reputation is in question, the undercard is pretty good, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't.
Would you agree with that?
I don't think Valdez is gonna get his reputation back. The way things are going, man. It's just it really gives a black eye on boxing. It's almost like they're opening the doors for PEDs instead of trying to get to the bottom of the case. It's like, no, you can just fight. We'll let it go. The media over in Mexico has got high levels in clenbuterol, so we're going to raise our levels for all our fighters. Look, Major, I've never seen it this crazy in all the years I've seen boxing, and I can remember back in the day when fighters were doing amphetamines when they were, I didn't know for sure, but we kind of wink knew for sure, but now it's like it's so blatant. They're coming out with these designer drugs, these so-called gurus, these locker room gurus putting together these cycles for them. It's nuts. If this doesn't get cleaned up, I think boxing is going to be more of a joke than it is today.
Yeah, gotcha, man. Troy, I know you was trying to jump in. My bad.
Yeah, I want to jump in. It's a different subject. Bruce, you said something about Holyfield's age and all that. I think at some point, once we get the union in boxing, there should be a cutoff age where you say, well, we don't want that you can't do this anymore because of your age, or start a seniors kind of league where it has different rules and different timings for the rounds and things of that nature. Because I don't want to constantly see 50 plus year old fighters fight either, because I just like you said, I don't want to see anybody hurt. But there has to be a cutoff point where you say, okay, you're almost 60. Maybe you should be doing other things, training, managing, something else, right?
Definitely. We look back at the fighters that we say were past their prime. Look at like Joe Louis when he fought Rocky Marciano. We look at look at Ali when he fought Larry Holmes. You know, and even Larry Holmes in his later day career. But dude, these fighters were barely 40 years old. We're talking about somebody who's 58 years old. I mean, that's almost ready to collect Social Security. You can't put on gloves at that age, man. You know, Evander Holyfield, he's a genetic freak. He looks great. He's going to look great. He's the kind of guy I used to train with. He could eat a piece of cake and look at a weight and put muscle on. You know, just one of these genetically gifted. It's going to be, you know, people he takes his shirt off and people are going to say, yeah, he looks good enough to get in the ring. I don't even know if he passed physicals for this or if he was cleared by any commissions. You know, it seems like it was very hastily put together. Oscar De La Hoya suddenly came down with COVID, and Holyfield stepped in. To me, this is not boxing. This is almost like a Bonham and Bailey sideshow. You know, I got to give it to the announcer that from HBO that we all dump on there, Jim Lampley. He didn't want any part of the freak show, man. He got out of it, man. And even the fighters that are getting mocked on here, man. You know, Bradley. You know, these people they're speaking out against it. Andre Ward. It just shouldn't happen in boxing, but yet it's happening, and we're giving it the pass. And they're not going to get the pass from me, man. I'm not going to buy it, Joe. Keep the fucking drugs out of boxing.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying, you know, at some point, the sport is really going a certain direction because the so-called TBE in the sport took it a certain direction, and everybody said, well, if he can make that much money fighting these guys, and I'm gonna jump over here too, and fighting YouTubers and all that. So, you know, why can't I do it, right? So that's really where it starts right there. At least to me, if anybody has a difference of opinion, I'm right here. But I think that's where it started.
And well, Floyd, so-called TBE, he had to earn that before he strapped that moniker on him. You know, these guys today, after 15 fights, they want to be pay-per-view material. And man, you know, nobody's heard of these people. You know what? I've been doing this a lot lately. I go to the corner, I hang out with the boys in the morning. I take the dog for a walk, and I ask a lot of these guys, who's the heavyweight champion of the world? And I'm going to say 75% have no idea. Another freaking 10% have the craziest answers in the world, and the rest they just don't give a shit about boxing. It's sad, but you know, at one time the heavyweight champion Evander Holyfield, when he was the man, everybody knew who Evander Holyfield was. You know, I can't get one straight answer today. Nobody, maybe one person will mention. I'll see one guy that I know from used to watch boxing with me in the old days, and they're still watching it. But boxing as a whole, man, it's basically become a sideshow, you know, exhibitions and YouTube fighters, and you know the TBE is, you know, there is no TBE out there. There's not one boxer that I can name that I'm actually a fan of. You know, my fanboy days are long gone, and if they weren't gone, nobody today has actually earned that right.
Right, exactly. That's why I try to bring on these legends, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like shit, man. Like, people need to learn what the difference, you know? But I think Troy went to light a candle at his Deontay Wilder altar. So he'll be back shortly. But yeah, man, like, it is crazy though, man. It's crazy because all the entertainment going on, and it's okay. It's like, there's a lane for that. But the problem is that people are taking that like that's like 100% boxing. That's the only problem I have. You know, like for example, you know, it's like the belts are more than the fighter. The event itself is more than the fighter. You know, or the competitive nature. It's like, you know, it's just crazy. It's like the perspective is completely changed.
There's so many belts out there. I mean, it confuses the hell out of me. You know, the not to mention just the four organizations, but you got your interns, you got your regulars, you got your diamonds, you got your silvers, you got your intercontinentals. Bro, I give up. I don't know who's on top of these divisions. And what do we have? One division that's undisputed today. This is unheard of back. You know, the golden era, the golden era where Iran came from, the 90s, the late 80s and the 90s. That just wouldn't happen. When you had fighters who claimed to be the best in their division, they fought each other. We can go right through the line, even when it was only a 2-belt era, even when it was a 3-belt era. A lot of fighters strapped those 3 belts over their shoulder. Today nobody wants to get out of their lane. They're satisfied being the veggie champion. Man, I'm not going to say beta males. I'm so sick of that freaking phrase. But dude, we don't have any
and it's usually
boxes out there.
It's usually the beta males dishing out that term to other people. It's usually the beta males that's calling other people beta males. That's funny.
But there's not many other words we can use for it. Hey, salute, Sinister. How you doing, brother?
What's going on, my man?
Going good. Bruce, Troy, Major Key, how's it going?
What's up?
Well, I was just listening to the conversation about how nobody wants to fight the best and everybody's just content. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. There's not very many true fighters.
Yeah, man.
Well, you know what? This is just a wave for right now, man. I'm not gonna say it's gonna stay. It's just a wave that's passing through the sport. It'll come a time where you have fighters who boxing will get back to where it needs to be. Right now we're just going through a wave or a season. We're just going through a season. Once this season's over, we're gonna get back on track.
I'd say there is a lot of good prospects out there too. So I mean, there's hope with that.
Yeah. They are. You got Ennis, you got Ortiz, you got a lot of great fights that can be made. But at the end of the day, when you have fighters that really want to fight, but the people that are behind them are saying, well, we don't want to take any chances just yet. What's the point of those people? I mean, the fighter has to step up and say, I don't care what you say. Go ahead and make this fight happen. You don't work for because I don't work for you. You actually work for me. So go ahead and make this fight happen. Right?
I think you're hitting a point, but I think there's a little bit more to it. And what I mean by that is it might be a fad, but just like everything else, right? It doesn't mean that it's going to end soon, because at the end of the day, you're going to have people, right, that just like any other fad, that they're going to be like, okay, can I duplicate that and add something a little different and get my bag too? You see what I'm saying? So people are going to be trying to get the bag too, using their own little twist to all of this, right? But yeah, man, salute to you, Bruce Goes. He said he had to bounce and all of that. But we got Brian Harkin in the building. What's going on, brother?
Yo, what's going on, Major Key? How you doing, Troy? And I don't know who this is at the bottom here.
Doing good. You up late tonight, man. What time is it over there?
1:40 a.m.
Oh,
1:40 a.m.
But it's Friday, so it don't matter.
Saturday here.
Yeah.
Technical
here, Brian.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Basically, when you can do low risk, high reward, there's no incentive for these boxers to go back to the golden era. If these guys are making $2-3 million per fight, and they can make that fight in B or C class level fighter, these top guys I'm on about, then why would they take the higher fights why would they take the tougher fights if they're still getting rewarded for fighting B, C level fighters?
It's a good point. What do you guys think?
Yeah, well, that's in the here and now. I don't think every fighter has that mindset, brother. I think that there's a
no, I agree. I agree with that, right?
Yeah,
but
yeah. Hold
it's
on.
not the fighters. It's not the fighters. It's the managers. It's the promoters around them. It's the people around them. Right?
Exactly.
They're going to take the low risk and high reward option more times than not. And if fighters keep doing this, it's going to slow down the sport, right?
Can't get no slower.
Mark did a thing last night on. We were talking about this last night. Mark also did a thing last night where he talked about the networks. There's too many networks. Networks have a budget, and that's the reason why these fighters ain't fighting 2, 3, 4 times a year, because it used to be just say Don King would make a fight, right? There was no network involved, right? And he'd go to the networks. He'd go to 3 or 4 networks. He goes, how much can you pay me for this? How much are you interested in the fight? Yes. How much are you going to pay me? How much are you going to pay for the fight? Right now, you got networks contracted to certain promotions where they give these promotions budgets, and they have to stick to that yearly budget. So, the fact that you can't get, just say, 50 million a year or whatever it is, right? So to get these top guys fighting more than twice a year is going to be difficult because the budget's so low. Because they can't compete with other networks to get the higher bid.
Yeah, we're just in the business era of boxing right now. It's just a business season. But on the top of that, you also have to blame the fighters also, because the fighters have to come to realize that boxing is not the business, it's just a vehicle. You are the business. If you take away every fighter, there's still going to be boxing, but there's going to be no one there to use that vehicle.
Yeah.
So
I'm not saying I agree with it. I'm just saying that's what's happening right now. Majority of the case, right? I'd love boxing to go back to the golden era.
Yeah, I think there needs to be a restructuring though, and
I agree with that.
It needs to be restructured from the ground up, and I don't know, I don't know how that happens because these guys have a strong grip on the game. And unfortunately, everyone is greedy in the sport, and so you really don't see anything change because everybody's happy with making their money. Everybody's hand is in the pot.
Yeah, it used to be right. Just say the top fighters, maybe they can get 3 million or 4 million per fight, right? Right. It used to be back in the 90s, back in the 80s, back in the 70s. You could fight 4 or 5 times a year. You wouldn't make that amount of money.
Right. That's why I ran off right now. I'm not sure.
It all depends on who you are.
Did you
but some fighters do, but the majority of them don't.
But Brian, were you here when Iran was talking earlier?
No, I missed that. Okay. Unfortunately, I had to go back and rewatch.
Yeah. So he actually mentioned it, that he's pissed off because he's saying these guys are making so much money. And the type of fighter that I was that fought everybody, I should have made that money. So he's kind of pissed about it,
Yeah. No, I understand that. And I understand why he's pissed, right?
Mm-hmm.
But this is my point, right? If he was making that money today, right, would he fight as many fights because promoters would see him more as a...
It's a good point. I understand. I understand your angle. That's a good point, yeah.
You know what I mean? I understand where he's coming from. And I don't think particularly it's these boxers. I think it's the people around them saying, why put yourself through 4 or 5 fights a year when you can make the same money 1 or 2 fights a year? 2 fights a year if you're, you want to go real adventurous. And I don't think that's right, but that's just the people around them. That's people in their heads. People look at the Floyd Mayweather effect, and how much money he made by doing this type of blueprint. But the fact was, Floyd Mayweather was a commodity he could sell because he was a name in boxing. He can demand that because they knew that if they sold Floyd Mayweather, mostly they would get their money back.
I disagree. I disagree with this part of it. I don't think he could sell because he was around when Tyson was fading out. Roy Jones was there, Oscar, and you never heard his name. It wasn't until everybody really faded out. He was the only one there. That's why he sold so much.
Yeah,
because in all reality, what is there to watch when you see him fight?
Yeah, well, that's true, right?
He did so. Yeah, go ahead, Brian. Go ahead, and I'll follow up.
He did some numbers. Would he ever go back to the golden age of the 80s and 90s where they did numbers? No, because boxing's more accessible now, right? But why pay for a fight when you can illegally stream it now? It's so easy to legally stream these fights now, right? And promoters are looking at that too, and I think promoters are looking at that and going, well, why should we put these guys on 3 or 4 fights a year? People are just going to illegally, stream their fights. Where are we going to make our money back? You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I
Right?
mean,
There's so many things now. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, that's where it comes to people, because if you got poor quality with somebody recording, you just got to make sure no one can hack your actual app and stuff like that. So that's on them a lot. But there's so many people trying to come up with new apps, and you still have issues sometimes with the zone, even just staying consistent in front of you while you're watching a fight. It starts to lag and stuff like that in the middle of a fight. So you right away that there's opportunities in that particular situation.
Yeah.
Right.
I was watching the Herkovich fight, and right before the knockout, it paused on me.
Herkovich won?
The zone.
What round?
I forget what round it was. But right before, it was very early on in the fight. But right before it paused on me. And it paused for like 10 seconds. I'm like, what the fuck is it? Like, I'm paying for the zone. What the fuck is this like? You know what I mean?
Yeah, because we're in the same league with Champ Raw. So I had Herkovich KO in 6. It was earlier than 6?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Okay. Yoka, did he win?
I didn't see that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, let me step back up here. Brian.
Yeah.
People been stealing fights since fights went on pay-per-view. I don't care if it was back in the day we had that box where you could watch the fight for free.
True.
And all of that. People been stealing fights forever. It's not that really people are stealing, it's that it's nobody here that's a star. There ain't no superstars in boxing no more. Pacquiao's fading out. You got Joshua, he's a star, but personality wise, and you got Alvarez, he's a star, but he doesn't really speak English and all that. So
Hold on, Troy, because this is what I was going to say before. So jumping on the Mayweather topic, right? Mayweather did go from Pretty Boy to Money after the De La Hoya fight. I'm trying to tell you right now, when he fought De La Hoya, everybody watched that fight, bro. I'm talking about I rushed out of my job, tried to get home in time. I stopped at a wing house, bro. The wing house was completely sold out. They had the doors locked unless you needed to leave. And then there was 3 rows of people in front of the windows watching from outside. Okay. And so what I'm saying is that he happened to transition though to Money May at the beginning of all this hype with the internet. Because we had internet before that, but I'm talking about all the social media and all that stuff when it really started taking off. He happened to do that, and he was playing the villain. So he got the crowd that wanted to see him win, and he got the crowd that wanted him to lose, and he did that shit to perfection. You know what I mean?
Right. And you got to understand.
And then with the little series leading up to the fight, so it wasn't just him though, because you said it was just him. But at that time, you had other stuff. What are you talking about? You had Pacquiao coming through. You had Cotto with the Puerto Ricans coming through. You know what I'm saying? You had Canelo was just starting out, so I can't say Canelo in that sense. But during that time, you still had De La Hoya, Sugar Shane. You still had
Berto,
right?
Berto never stopped. No.
Yeah, Berto.
Well, I mean, he was in my Florida type. Yeah, like people liked him, man. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
He's like, yeah.
No, but hear me out. When I say he was by himself, he was exactly that because I remember when Felix was there, so was Floyd. I remember when Oscar was there, so was Floyd. I remember when Roy Jones was there, so was Floyd. You didn't hear his name, did you? He was by himself as far as superstars go. Everybody else was pretty much. And if it wasn't for Oscar, if it wasn't for the fight with Oscar, he would have never made it to that point in boxing. Pacquiao, for boxing fans, people knew who he was. But if it wasn't for the fight with Oscar, he wouldn't be where he is on that level. There was no real superstars when he was doing his thing. It was just him. So he played up to that. If it was other superstars, nobody would watch that boy because he's not exciting. There's no intrigue. There's no drama. There's no entertainment. There's nothing. You can play the villain all you want. Wilder plays the villain and he knocks people out. How's he doing?
Well, I mean, for at
Yeah,
that
that's
point,
like box.
money speaks louder than words, though, bro. Like, well, what you're saying
by
contradicts the
himself.
fact that he was making that bag, though.
Yeah, the bag, yada yada yada. But at the end of the day, he's not held in the same esteem as the people that he always talks about, like the Alis and the Rays and
Yeah,
everybody
but
else.
that was because he was
He's
an
not held
asshole.
in there.
That's why. That's because he was
Huh?
an asshole, not because he wasn't a good.
That's my point. He was by himself. He has no other body to bounce off of. So he had to do, he used social media because he knew what to do with it. But if it was other people around that were on his level and were exciting, nobody wanted to see that boring ass stuff that he gave people. Nobody.
Okay. Go ahead, Brian.
No, right. I agree with some extent. There was nobody else around, right? Nobody else to challenge, right? Uh, Floyd played the bad boy, right? But at the end of the day, he sold. He did numbers. Like people tuned in to see him get beat, or hoping one punch would knock him out. Or someone to maul him.
Yeah.
I was excited when he fought Maidana because I thought Maidana would be a tough fight for him.
Yeah.
I was happy when Cotto was there. When he fought Cotto, I thought Miguel Cotto would be a tough. Like there were fighters out there I thought could challenge Floyd, and they didn't. Unfortunately for me, when I looked at him and Manny Pacquiao, I always thought he would beat Manny, and it was nothing to do with Manny Pacquiao. It was just down to style. Pacquiao really has a problem with slick counter punchers.
Yeah, he does.
I thought Floyd, would deal with him quite comfortably, and that's what he did. So.
And also, I want to step in here and say something else. Every big fight he ever had, he never made a statement. He never made a statement.
Agree.
Never.
I agree with that. Right.
He simply won. He didn't. He didn't make a mistake.
Who did he? Right. Who did he beat? Shane Mosley. Right. Shane Mosley was past it. He beat the living ass out of that boy. But it was a pass at Shane Mosley. Even though Shane hurt him in the second round, beyond that, Shane wasn't in the fight. What other big fights did they have? Right. Oscar was competitive for the first 6-7 rounds, and Floyd took over.
Oscar should have kept dabbing.
Yeah, you're right. You're right about that. Right, the big fights. He didn't make a statement. Right, he outboxed Canelo, Alvarez. There was no way he was going to ever hurt Canelo because you see that guy's chin. Like that guy's got the Thanos chin. But I never thought he was ever going to hurt Canelo, right? But I knew he could outbox him just due to Canelo's inexperience at the time.
Yeah.
I didn't think Canelo would lay a glove on him, and he didn't.
That's what's up, man. Yo, any final thoughts? Because I'm gonna shut it down, man. My battery's getting low. It's Friday night. Been working all week, man. Man, y'all already know how that is, man. I know that we're gonna have some Free Smoke Friday later on and all of that. So that should be interesting. So I'm gonna just chill with the family until that pops up.
Well, I'm sorry I wasn't here in the Myron Barkley interview. So I will pop back. I will pop back, and I'll be a part of the replay squad, and I'll watch it.
It's always appreciated, man. Yeah.
No worries. You got a legend like Iran Barkley on your panel. I didn't even know he was on tonight. So if I would have known, I would have popped in there earlier. So yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I invited Mark last night. I invited Mark on his channel last night. I invited him on.
Yeah. I forgot about that. So much happened today,
Yeah.
I tell you what, Brian. You keep coming on, man, and we're gonna make you our Irish, correspondent, man, and you could translate the show into Gaelic. All right.
Why not?
Why not? Why not? Indeed. All right, man.
Slang that dog is a tatty.
All right. Any final thoughts, Brian?
That's just goodbye. See you later. No, just have a good one, guys. Thanks for having me on, Major Key. Troy Graham. Who was the other guy on here?
That was Sinister. He left though.
Okay, you too, Sinister, and everyone in the chat. Have a good one, guys. Just
all right,
peace.
you too, brother. Any final thoughts, Troy?
I'm good, man. Go ahead and take us home.
Oh man, well shit, man. I really got nothing else to say, man. It's Friday night, man. I'm tired as hell after this week. So shout out again, to everyone that showed up. Shout out to Coach Malachi dropping half a dub for me, via Cash App. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. Shout out to Barkley for showing up as well. And giving us the stories, a little bit of tech issues, a little bit of breaking up, but it's just the first interview. Typically speaking, we have a good percentage when it comes to success as far as people coming back on the show. So hopefully next time we don't run into those issues. Feel me? All right, man. With that being said, y'all have a great, wonderful Friday night. Great weekend, and don't forget to check out Black and Brown Boxing on Free Smoke Friday. Peace.